Thus starteth the stream. Give everyone just a second to come in here. We got Chicago. Oh, I forgot to fucking. Damn it. Forgot to rename the stream. God damn it. God damn it. Yes. Very professional here on Dave's Cooking Show's live streams. Very, very fucking professional. All right, save. And long enough, let's go.
The United States is home to some of the most famous and delicious pizza on the entire planet.
Insane. Insane.
And love it or hate it, you can't have a conversation about pizza in America without talking about Chicago. The thing is, most people only know about deep dish, but really, the culture runs a lot deeper than that. Deeper than the deepest deep dish, you could say.
Where's the cheese?
It's under the sauce.
So to do this right, we're gonna run things on a timeline. From the day pizza first landed in Chicago to the many different styles that define it today. And later, we're even gonna take an exclusive field trip to one of Chicago's most iconic establishments to see how pizza is really made here in the city. And definitely stick around, because later in the video, I'm gonna reveal something to you guys that I've been working on for literally months, and I'm really stoked to share it with you. Pizza people, let's ride. Pizza in the United States really starts as a New York story first. Italian immigrants, mostly
Yeah, I know.
from Napoli, came over here in the late 1800s. Now, in 1905, a guy named Gennaro Lombardi opens up Lombardi's in Manhattan, which is generally credited as the first licensed pizzeria in the entire country. From there, pizza spread in much the same way that immigrants do. It followed the work, which is exactly why there are so many great pizza spots up and down the entire East Coast. As those immigrants pushed west chasing factory jobs, really, the first big city they ran into was the Windy City, the city of big shoulders, the hog butcher for the world, sweet home Chicago. Which is exactly why pizza doesn't really arrive here until the late 1920s. And when I say arrive, I kind of really mean like timidly touch your big toe into the water, because it was super low-key. It began in Chicago's Little Italy neighborhood, mostly on Taylor Street. It started with home cooks and small family-run spots feeding local families on the block. Businesses like Pompeii, the famous bakery, opened up in 1909. They didn't start selling pizza really until the 50s, but you know, they were there, doing bread. Not too far off from pizza. Tom Granado,
What the hell is...
again off Taylor Street, becomes the first pizzeria anybody bothered to
What the hell is his shirt saying?
write down, which was recorded to have been opened up in the early 1920s. And really for the next 20 or so odd years, that's pretty much it. There was no come with me to this local hidden gem culture to, you know, poison our brains with. It was under the radar. Pizza was a neighborhood secret that people outside the neighborhood really didn't know about or really cared that much about to begin with.
Don't disrespect the pizza parlor.
And then Chicago did what the Midwest does best. It took an idea, made it bigger, heavier, and impossible to ignore. In 1943, Pizzeria Uno opens up on the corner of Ohio and Wabash Street, and this is the moment where Chicago stops borrowing and starts building its own pizza identity. It begins with a deep cast iron. Dough is pulled to the sides, kind of like a bowl. You add in the cheese, the toppings, the sauce goes on top, not the bottom.
It's under the sauce.
And the sauce is really the tell here, because, you know, it's much darker, sweeter, richer, and way more spice than, you know, the bright, simple, fresh stuff back east. This is not a pie from Napoli or New York. This is a definitive Chicago creation. It's the pizza synonymous with a city that everybody around the world knows about. This is deep dish pizza. And deep dish pizza really is just about as Midwest as it gets. Not to get too caught up here, but Chicago is the city Carl Sandburg called the city of big shoulders. The railways that stitched the whole country together ran through here. The stockyards that fed most of the country were here. These were people who worked their asses off, and people who work like that show up to the table hungry. So the pizza got big. There was never really a slice shop culture here like there was in New York, right? This is a sit down, tuck your napkin in your collar, kind of like a bib style pizza. Full knife and fork status, if you want. You can still totally pick up a slice. That notion is kind of a myth. Now, who actually invented deep dish is one of Chicago's greatest culinary mysteries, but most people point to Pizzeria Uno. For decades, the credit went to Ike Sewell, a Texas liquor salesman whose name is still on the door at Pizzeria Uno. Here's the thing though. Sewell almost certainly didn't make the pizza himself. He didn't even sign on as a partner until 1944, a full year after the place already opened and was already selling this pizza. The guy who actually built it was Rick Ricardo, the artist who opened up the restaurant and so happens to have the coolest name I've ever heard about in my life. The cooks did the work and the business guy got a statue, a tale as old as restaurant.
Man, it's a pretty fucking cool name. Hi, what's your name? I am Rick Ricardo, most feared pirate of the seven seas.
But the dough, the one that you picture with deep dish today, right? That came later from a cook named Alice May Redmond, who rebuilt the whole recipe using a biscuit technique that she brought up from Mississippi during the Great Migration, when Black Americans came up from the South to the North looking for factory jobs. She completely got written out of this story decades ago, right? Super messed up. She's a legend. Obviously, like, we wouldn't have the same pizza today if she didn't step into the picture. Funny how that keeps on happening.
Oh, great. Now we'll have a bunch of... Well, I won't finish.
When it comes to Chicago pizza, everybody on earth thinks of deep dish. It's synonymous with the city. But really, the pizza that most people who actually live here eat, probably since they were in diapers, couldn't be more different. Okay, so we know that deep dish blessed us back in the 1940s, but let's rewind a little bit, just a few years to the 1930s, Prohibition era Chicago. Real quick, little history buffer in case you forgot here. Prohibition was the roughly 13-year period where the federal government made alcohol illegal.
Yeah, and trust me, this was the single worst amendment ever passed, ever made in the history of the universe. The only amendment to be repealed, and we mostly have women to thank for it.
It went fantastic. Zero bumps, zero notes. It was the best. It handed off the entire booze business to
But actually, this is the fucked up thing. Prohibition did not outlaw consumption. It didn't outlaw possession. In fact, some, like, rich people just bought enough booze and literally just drank their way through the entire prohibition. They bought, like, 2 decades worth of booze. Because booze doesn't go bad. Unless certain conditions are met, obviously. It only prohibited, and it didn't prohibit the making of alcohol, the production. It only prohibited the sale, the commercial sale of alcohol. But there were 2 exceptions. If your doctor prescribed whiskey, you could get it, and the church was allowed wine. So you could just go to old Father McLaren and get your wine fix. I'm not sure why you'd want to deal with a red wine hangover, but hey, what you doing?
Bootleggers and gangsters, and basically funded the rise of world-class organized crime and the beginnings of the American mob. Al Capone, remember that sturdy young gentleman? Yeah, at this time, Chicago was his. Anyways, in 1933, Prohibition ends. And basically overnight, Chicago goes from a handful of speakeasies to literally thousands of licensed taverns.
And what's really funny is, and this goes more to you ladies than to us men, if it wasn't for Prohibition, the idea of the cocktail probably wouldn't have been a thing. In fact, I think, well, that's a history lesson. But yeah, basically cocktails wouldn't be a thing.
scattered all across the city. Well, maybe not overnight, but you get it. Soon after. And now every single one of these spots had a challenge to face. How do you keep somebody bellied up to the bar long enough to keep buying your booze and not go home? Well, if they're drinking, naturally they're gonna get the drunk cheese, right? You know, they're gonna get hunger, they're gonna want some grub. I feel them. And what do people want to muck when they are intoxicated? Well, amongst other things, pizza. But not right away. See, pizza shows up to the bar fashionably late.
No, I didn't see the GTA drop on Netflix today. I just know there's a fucked up situation going between CyberLeak and Rockstar. I think both sides are fucking... Well, one side's greedy, the other side is retarded.
Mostly in the 1940s, a lot of it right after World War II, so really 1940s, 1950s. Around this time, somebody had the genius idea to make pizza sort of cheaply, less filling, and easier to eat at a bar. Remember when I talked about the slice shop culture not existing? This was, easier to eat than a big, heavy deep dish. It starts by rolling the dough super thin so it bakes up kind of like a cracker.
Yeah, basically a Chicago tavern pizza.
More or less. You cut it into little squares instead of wedges. Then you serve it on a napkin, not a plate, which keeps one hand open, right? One for the beer, one for the pizza. Or if you're a pro, one for the beer, one for the pizza, one for the shot, one for the pizza. So it's like beer, shot, pizza, pizza situation, right? We call that a handshake here, but that's an advanced move. This is tavern style pizza, and it's basically an American pincho, right? Those little, bar snacks that you get in Basque Country, Spain. Not quite a tapas, but kind of similar. You get it. Maybe that's a little too deep of a cut, whatever. You'll also hear tavern be called party cut, thin crust, or just Chicago thin. It goes by many names, but tavern because it was traditionally served at taverns, right? That's the whole etymology. The cool part about this is that no one person claims to have invented.
I don't know if I'm gonna buy GTA 6 or not because there's no physical copy. And I don't like the... Then again, on that note, I've got like 200 games on Steam.
This style because 100 bars basically kind of landed on it around the same time, which kind of makes it the entire city's thing, which is kind of cool. The legendary Vito and Nick, or Nick and Vito's, opened up in 1946. Home Run Inn followed suit right there too around the same time, and the idea was so good that it actually leaked across the entire Midwest. That's why in St. Louis, you have thin square cut pizza. In parts of Wisconsin, same thing, they sell the stuff. It really is that same.
It's just because I don't like the way Japanese views copyright. Because, like, right now what I'm doing is fair use. Well, in Japan, they have no fair use.
Family tree, but different branches, cousins, not clones. Chicago Tavern is definitely its own thing. Now, if you're a pizza nerd, maybe you've noticed that tavern style has had a real moment these last few years. Suddenly, it's trendy, right? It's getting written up about. Visitors are seeking it out when they come.
I mean, I don't mind tavern style pizzas. Just normally when I make pizza at home, I'm doing it for the show, so I make like 7 of them. So it's just easier. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some tavern styles.
Come here into town alongside their Italian beef and their Chicago dog. It really is getting the respect it deserves, which is great. Okay, style number 3. This one gets a little nerdy.
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
In the 1960s, a dude named Bert Katz starts messing around with
Santa? Are you back on heroin again?
pizza. He bounces through a couple of spots, a place called the Inferno, then Gulliver's, and in 1971 he opens up one that sticks, Pequod's, which is out in the suburbs in Morton Grove, at least the first location is. Later he'd go on to open Bert's place as well because he could not stop tinkering. What Bert cracked was the edge. He'd push the cheese all the way down into the gap between the dough and the pan here, kind of before it hit the oven, right? So when it came out, it was wearing this like dark, caramelized, almost burnt collar, right? That Frico, that cheese rim around the entire thing. It's a super distinct style of pizza, and this guy, there could definitely be books in videos and maybe even a movie written about this guy, so we won't dwell on him too hard. He was a legend. I actually talked about him in my pan pizza video. You can check that out if you'd like. Now, on paper, this sounds like a mistake, but in your mouth, it's incredible. I mean, Anthony Bourdain, you know, a guy who didn't exactly hand out compliments like Snickers bars, called it the only deep dish he'd ever loved. This is Chicago pan pizza. And as you can tell,
I love deep dish pizza. I don't know why some people hate it. I am not the biggest fan of New York. The slice is fucking larger than goddamn Godzilla. And I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of thin crust.
Tell by what Tony Bourdain said, this is where everybody gets a little mixed up, a little confused here, because deep dish is also baked in a pan, but it isn't actually pan pizza. It's something different, okay? I know it gets esoteric here, but it's a completely different style, different enough to definitely, you know, earn its own category. Which brings us to our fourth and final style today. The one that I just kind of sort of prematurely mentioned, right? Stuffed deep dish. Let's kill the obvious confusion here first. Stuffed does not mean stuffed crust, right? Get that out of your dome. Sorry, Papa John.
He's never been in the pizza category.
Chicago stuffed deep dish pizza, or just stuffed or stuffed pizza, is actually a take on an old Italian Easter pie. A double crusted cheese filled thing called bear with me here, scarsidia. That thing.
Mamma mia! Holy shit!
And yeah, obviously I'm butchering that name, but the build is unique here, right? Dough is on the bottom, all the cheese and the fillings go in next, then a second layer of thin dough is put on top of that, and then the sauce goes on top of that, right? So 2 crusts, 1 pizza.
So basically, you made a calzone, but put the sauce on top.
The story starts in a small town near Turin, Italy, with a woman named Mama Giordano. She's famous around town for one dish, her Italian Easter pie. Then her 2 sons, Efren and Joseph, carried that recipe across the ocean to Chicago's south side. And in 1974, they opened the first Giordano's and turned their mom's famous Easter pie into stuffed pizza. And that name went everywhere, man. Giordano's. Whoosh. This is one of a small handful of places in the city that stopped being a restaurant and kind of turned into a landmark, right? It's where to meet. It's where to take your cousin when they want to visit. It's the give directions, buy it kind of spot. But the thing I love about it is who eats there. Now, Chicago likes to argue, right? They'll literally argue about everything here, from neighborhoods to, you know, politics to ketchup.
White Sox and Cubbies fans. Here's my opinion on ketchup on hot dogs. It's your fucking hot dog. Put whatever you want on it.
But Giordano's, man, Giordano's has always been there. Now, were these 2 brothers the literal first people to ever invent stuffed pizza in this town? That's a genuine bar fight, right? I'm gonna let the historians keep swinging on that one. But Giordano's is the name that took this thing mainstream and made the rest of the country care about it. That part.
Well, it doesn't matter. They got the credit. When facts and legends collide, print the legend.
Part is definitely not up for debate. So, just like pan and deep dish, stuffed is technically its own creature, but again, to use the metaphor to beat it to death, it's hanging from the same branch, right? It's on that same tree, just stuffed with cheese. Woo! All right. Whew. I know that was a lot. But that is the map more or less. 4 styles, 1 city. Deep dish, tavern, pan, and stuffed. Stuffed deep dish. I did want to shout out to the Pizza Puff and the Double Dough Pizza, right? They both deserve a little shout out too.
What the fuck is a double dough?
Maybe we'll do videos on those later. Comment below if you want to see that.
So good.
Okay, before we go on, I gotta tell you guys about something that I've been working on for literally months. I haven't told anybody about this yet. Giordano's and I have partnered up to make my very own custom designed stuffed deep dish pizza that you can, as of literally right now, right at this exact moment, purchase yourself on the internet and eat with your very own mouth.
How? I'm about 600 miles away from Chicago.
Really though, since I started making videos, one of the things that I've wrestled with, and I know a lot of you feel the same way too, is that no matter how many OLED screens you attempt to lick, you still can't taste what I'm cooking. That changes today. This is a stuffed deep dish that I'm calling the Great Chicago Fire. Of course, named after the fire that leveled a chunk of the city and forced it to rebuild into the metropolis that it is today. A true phoenix rising moment, right? And that's exactly what you'll be the second you take a bite of this pie, right? A gorgeous, majestic, arcane bird of myth and mystery. Just imagine it. I'm so sorry. Okay. Basically, if I could build and eat any deep dish on earth, it would be this one, right? And that's exactly what I did. Obviously. It's a fiery deep dish loaded with a proprietary blend of Wisconsin's finest cheese, Calabrian chili sausage, and pepperoni. Again, both custom blends designed for more flavor and less grease. Then it's topped with crunchy, spicy, fierce giardiniera and finished with Calabrian chili honey. It took a lot of iterations to get here, and this is the one that I landed on, and I really can't.
A 2-pack of these fucking things is $100. Unless that pizza comes with a fucking blowjob, I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
Wait for you to try it. It's really tasty. So if you're into food with a bit of a kick, you're gonna dig this. I know you will. And if not, that's totally chill too, right? There's a whole lineup of other pizzas that they offer on the website, so.
Yeah. $94. Fuck you.
You know, you can choose from those, no worries. Which brings me to the best part. You do not have to be in Chicago to get this pizza. I repeat, this pizza ships nationwide, frozen, packed in dry ice, so it shows up at peak freshness. And
Yeah, for $100, it should also come with a Ukrainian sex slave.
is basically ready whenever you want to thaw it and bake it off. So whether you moved away and you miss it, you've never had real Chicago pizza.
Okay, maybe not a Ukrainian sex slave. There may be a little bit premium. Chinese.
And or you just want to try my food, you can grab your very own Great Chicago Fire.
Maybe not that. Maybe that's a little. Some bitch from India. They're constantly having kids over there. In fact, have they passed China's? Let me just check really. Countries by population. I think. India. Yep, India has passed China now. By goddamn 55 million people. No, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. 64 million people. Damn. And China, the average age is, the median age is 40.6. India is 29.2. The United States is coming up third with 349 million. I think we lost. No, we grew a little bit. Followed by Indonesia, Pakistan, Nigeria, Brazil, Bangladesh, Russia, Ethiopia, Mexico, and Japan. Finally, the only European country comes in at number 19 with Germany.
Stuffed deep dish by following the link in my description. And last thing, just a fair warning here, when these things sell out, they're gone, right? We're only making a limited run, so don't sleep on it. So if you're looking for a way to support what I do here,
I am not spending $100.
this is it.
That is just not going to happen in any stretch of the imagination.
Every order goes straight back into the channel, which means that you're keeping these videos going and getting a pizza night out of the deal, right? And pizza night is always a good night. You've earned it. So grab yourself a pizza. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I appreciate it way more than you know. Let's get back to the video. So I went down to Giordano's to make 2 iconic pies and got to work side by side with their executive chef. Chef Jesse Harris, the corporate executive chef of Giordano's, pizza master himself. What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing, dude? Good to see you.
Great to see you as well. He walked me through the technique.
Alright, is he gonna actually cook anything, or okay?
Behind the iconic Giordano stuffed pizza just before showing me something very new and very exciting. So stuffed pizza is what put these guys on the map, right? Mostly because they just do it right. It starts with homemade dough that's closer really to a pie crust, so you know it's flaky and it's sturdy. Then your proteins go down before the cheese or the sauce. Today it's a Chicago classic, which at Giordano's means pepperoni made from a 50-50 blend of pork and beef that's got less fat in it so it doesn't really get sogged out with grease. Then you pile in an obscene amount of mozzarella sourced from our neighbors to the north in Wisconsin. We all know if the cheeseheads know anything, it's cheese. Go figure. This pizza is then topped with mushrooms, onions, and peppers before getting covered with another layer of dough, officially crowning this as a stuffed pizza and not just a deep dish. An interesting move here is that they pinch little holes in the top layer to kind of vent the steam and let it out while it bakes, which keeps things crispy. Then it's topped with sauce, which is kind of where these guys differ from a lot of other joints around town.
Where's the cheese?
It's under the sauce.
Right, most Chicago sauces are on the sweeter side. You know, they're very herbaceous, they're cooked down. This is more sort of a sauce that you would maybe expect to find in New York, or dare I say, Italy.
Hey, here they make it real.
It's lighter and relies on the freshness of the tomato for that sort of naturally sweet, bright, acidic punch that you expect from a great sauce.
There's nothing in these tomatoes except tomatoes, salt, and there's like one basil leaf in the whole entire can.
Finally, it's dusted with Parmesan, then slid into a ripping hot rotating carousel oven. And boom, that's your classic Chicago stuffed deep dish. All right, now I gotta keep it real with you. When I heard Giordano's was releasing a tavern-style pizza, I was skeptical. I mean, this definitely is not the style that these guys are known for, and I didn't think they could make something that stood up to some of Chicago's most iconic tavern-style spots. There's a ton of people that do tavern-style really, really good in this city, right? Whether it's one of these new school spots or a place that's been established, you know, one of the more classic pizzerias. And Giordano's is definitely not known for their tavern-style pizzas, and I really didn't think that they could stand up to some of these, you know, iconic Chicago establishments. And now looking back on all of this, I'm able to admit that I was completely wrong. First, they laminate mozzarella directly into the dough in 2 stages, right? Almost kind of like making a croissant. I noticed one big thing that you don't do is you don't dock it.
No.
You don't dock it because you don't need to.
No, we don't need to. And
Yeah.
also because of the lamination.
Docking is putting holes in the dough
Yeah.
to stop it from rising.
Yeah, I love those medieval torture
Yeah,
tools, the
yeah.
rolling pin with the spikes
Use
on
it
it.
as a massager.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I have got to remember to use when I'm making pizza. Because I have one of those things.
They add the sauce on edge to edge like usual, but you're gonna notice that it goes on pretty light. The Wisconsin Moz comes in, then you top it with whatever you want. For me, that's usually going to be hot Italian sausage and hot giardiniera, aka Italian hot pickled peppers. Right? It's like the lifeblood of Chicago. Giardiniera, you gotta have the giardiniera. Try it if you've never tried it.
Great.
That's a proud carrot.
Yeah, they have great texture to it, nice and crunchy and crispy.
And then, and I've never seen anywhere else do this with Tavern, more sauce gets dolloped on top of the pie, which is actually a really nice touch. Then Parmesan cheese and oregano goes over the top to bolster that classic pizza energy. And again, boom, you got Giordano's Tavern Pizza, which are 3 words I'd never thought that I would put in a sequence, but I'm glad that I am.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Alright, he obviously liked it. Alright, I'm gonna move on. He's not even cooking anything. Oh, this is the same guy. Adam Witt. Alright. Which YouTube chef makes the best goddamn chili?
Big ol' cauldrons of chili from 3 of YouTube's most popular chefs. Now, each of these guys has made a name for themselves on the internet. They all have their own cooking styles, thought processes, and vibes, and
Well, let's see. Let's pick the 3. I know little of the one. Matty Matheson is a Canadian chef. He's probably the closest to me. Kent Rollins is way more rustic than I usually am. Not that he doesn't do good shit, but me and his styles are a little different. He's a little more laid back than I am. And the other guy I don't know much about. I've probably done his videos.
people love them for different reasons. But today we're gonna push that love down deep within our consciousness and pit them against each other to see which one of these blokes makes the best dang bowl of chili on the internet. Then at the end of the video, we're gonna fuse all of these different bowls of chilies together to create the ultimate Franken chili. In typical fashion, let's begin with the most complicated bowl. Matty Matheson is the YouTube chef version of that cooler older cousin who knew all the underground punk bands and had the dopest stash of fireworks. Crazy antics and neck tats aside, the dude is a bona fide chef who has been cooking professionally since he was a young lad. He opened his first
He also had a heart attack when he was a young lad because of all the drugs and alcohol he was on.
restaurant in Toronto and still runs a few spots in Canada, I believe, but once Vice got their hipster hands on him, it was GG. The cooking world would never be the same. Now, the Big Dog style is just that. Big, punchy, bold, and unapologetically maximalist. Maddie, if you're watching this, which you're certainly not, let's hang out. I will buy you a beer. Or I think you're sober, so I will buy you a Slurpee. What's a good bev? Chocolate milk. Let me buy you chocolate milk. I'll bring the chili, and you can teach me how to kickflip. So this is Maddie's veggie flavor base here. There's a lot of stuff in here. He calls it his sofrito. It's kind of what it is. Instead of adding, chopped onion, celery, and carrots and sauteing them, he just takes everything and blends it down into a puree. It's actually a cool and interesting technique I've never seen used in chili. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'll leave links to the original videos below too, so you can check those out. But all we gotta do now is blitz this up. We're just gonna pop all this in the blender. Of course, I'm gonna get it all over the floor. I wonder if I can get all this in. Oh, oh. It's all right. We'll start with half. The cool thing is vegetables are made of mostly water, so this is just gonna break right down.
I don't know when the next cigar chat's gonna be.
We'll add the other half of the veg. It smells great. So Frito done, let's brown some beef and pork. Maddie's beefs and porks. To me, this is what makes Maddie's chili unique. We have some bone-in product and ground product. We have our beef short ribs, our pork ribs, ground beef, and ground pork. So very meaty, like I said, very maximalist. All we gotta do is kind of put these in there, give them some color, brown them off nicely, then we're gonna take them out and add them to our chili later. With the short ribs here, I'm leaving them whole because that's what he seemed to do in his video, but you could cut these kind of like by the bone here and kind of make them a little more easy to eat. When you pull them out from the chili, they're gonna be one little piece that you can eat off the bone rather than a huge strip. For the pork ribs, you're just gonna eat those right off the bone, baby. It's really important that we give all this stuff good color because remember, brown food is flavorful food. Really take your time here and make sure to get color on your
You're making chili out of ribs and you're keeping the fucking bones in?
meats. Will you open that window? So here we got our shorties, the ground pork and beef, nice and browned off, which we'll break up in the chili, and our ribs. Beautiful. But we still have flavor to harvest. Just gonna deglaze with some of this beer. We'll let that reduce down a tiny bit. Don't look at me, look at. So we have our wonderful deglazed fond flavor juice. We're gonna set this aside and get going on the chili, the sofrito part. Into a big old Dutch boy. We're going in with some olive oil and our
Well, I don't mind short ribs, but I wouldn't put them in chili unless I cut the bone off.
sofrito vegetable mix, chili smoothie. We're just gonna toast that off a bit. We just wanna bring this to a low simmer and kind of just toast it off a bit, stir it around so it doesn't burn. Blip blop. Just gonna cook out some of that water. Now we're gonna add in our spices. Got a whole lot of stuff here. Just gonna stir that around.
Great, don't tell me what the spices are, so I can't do the recipe. Alright, I've got to pee. I will be right back. Alrighty.
They're gonna kind of bloom and wake up within that sofrito. We're gonna go in with some tomato paste, a little more beer. Let that beer cook out just a little bit. Then we'll go in with our tomato puree.
Maybe I'll have to give Modelo a second chance. I tried Modelo a couple of times and I just did not like it. Maybe I'll have to give it a second chance.
Oh yeah. Oh, oh, oh! Take some of that blip to the eye. Some beef stock. I'll cool things down. Some of the jus from that reduction from the meat. A cup of H2O. We're just gonna stir that all up. Nice, nice, nice. This will reduce over time and thicken up a bit, but not before we add in all of the meats. We got our short ribs, we got our pork ribs.
See, that's the thing. He's adding all the bones into this. This isn't chili.
And we got our ground pork, which I'll continue to stir.
And your pork is fucking rare.
Ooh, forgot a short rib.
I don't think it's terribly expensive. It's kind of like it's kind of like Corona for Mexican beer.
And we got our ground beef.
Okay, your ground beef is half raw, mostly raw.
For the final touches, we got some bay leaf, a dash of Gerber sauce, and some good old hot sauce to taste. He used Tabasco in his video, so that's what I'm using. Now we just slosh that around. Look at that, chili robusto. As this cooks down, this will reduce, it will develop flavor. I'll keep stirring it so the ground meat crumbles in better.
How long are you gonna
this thing
stir
is
it?
laden with meat. This is such a Matty chili. I don't know the guy, but it makes sense. Now we're just gonna pop the lid on, slightly ajar, and put this on the back burner to simmer for about 2 hours.
Alright, that'll do it.
Brian Lagerstrom is an ex-cook turned content creator, and let me tell you, he's got some of the cleanest videos on the internet. So Brian cut his teeth in restaurants, actually right here in Chicago, I believe. Like so many others, his channel really took off during the pandemic. Only, I don't know, this dude's work has stood the test of time. If you watch his videos, they're crispy, they're neat, they're very well done, well filmed. His thumbnails are... Now, Brian certainly has prowess in the savory department and with bread. But can the dude make a solid bowl of chili? Let's find out. Brian's protein chooses beef short ribs. So these are boneless. I cut these off of the short rib themselves to make these beautiful little chunks, and I put them in the freezer to solidify a little bit so they're easier to process in the food processor. So all we're gonna do now is kind of make our own little custom beef situation by processing them. We're gonna start with about half. That looks properly chunkified to me. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, look at that. Before you know it, we got ourselves some freshly ground beef shorties. A couple chunks in there, that's okay. That'll be nice texture. So this is a really cool technique that Brian does. He puts all of his ground meat on a sheet tray like this. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of salt. And this is going to go right under the broiler so that this gets uniformly brown, and it's a lot cleaner than doing it in the pan too. You know, you don't get the grease spurts all over the place. You don't burn your hand like you do when you're cooking a certain someone's chili. Into the broiler. Top rack.
Okay, I hate this already.
Alright. Boom, boom, bam. And we just cook those until everything again is brown. Ooh. Look at that. How easy was that? I got gloves under these, don't worry, I'm not an animal. We're just gonna crumble this beef up. And that's gonna be our ground beef for the chili. Love it. Kind of still get to keep some of those juices and the fat that's rendered. I'm gonna leave that not super crumbly. I'm gonna keep some chunks in it, give it some texture. Beautiful. All right, beef done. We gotta make the puree. Ow. All right, so for Brian, I love this. He uses real chilies. I do this in my chili too. So on this board here, we have some toasted, dried chilies. We have guajillo, we have chili ancho, and pasilla. So I toasted these in the oven, like I said. They've had a little bit of time to cool. I'm just gonna break them in half. Look how easy that is. And all those seeds come right out. You can keep some seeds in if you want some extra spice, but I like to work with them like this. So for everything, Pop the top. Seeds come out. And you just rinse and repeat for all the seeds pretty much. It's okay if you get some seeds in there, like I said, it'll just add a little extra spice. I don't mind it. Boom. Our chilies.
Or you could be like Arnie Tex and, you know, keep all the seeds because he shits lava.
Ready to go in. We're gonna go in with all those dried chilies. And some beef stock. Now we're gonna cover that up and blitz until smooth. That looks puree-y enough to me. All right. Dang, look how rich that is, dude. Can you see in there with those big, beautiful eyes of yours? It's like the beginning of mole, kinda. Man, we can do so much delicious stuff with this, but this is going right into the chili, which we are going to make now. Dutch oven over medium heat. Gonna go in with some.
What did you do to your Dutch oven? Did you have diarrhea all over it?
Olive oil. Now we're gonna go in with the red onion and poblano pepper. Little pinch of kosher. And now we sweat this down. Oh yeah. I like this simple, just onions and pepper. No carrots, no celery right now. Very like Mexican almost, Southwest I should say. Now we're gonna go in with some garlic, chopped up, and all of Brian's spices, which most notably includes cacao powder, again, very mole-like. So we're gonna stir that in.
Oh, cacao powder. Like anyone knows what the fuck that is.
Toast those spices in the oil and the vegetable aromatics. Look at that, already so dark and rich looking. This doesn't take long, just keep moving them, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. That cacao powder is unsweetened BT dubs, so it's just kind of this nice savory flavor that plays well with chilies. We're just gonna deglaze the little beef stock that I reserved. Scrape those toasted spices off the bottom. Oh yeah, look at that already. Dang. Now it's in with diced tomatoes. Whoa, crushed tomatoes. And all that delicious, rich chili puree. Then lastly, all the ground beef in its jus. Now we mix. Look at that color already, man. I know I keep saying that, but I love this. Beautiful chili. Glossy, dark, rich looking. With the chunks of ground beef in there. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna pop that lid on and put this in an oven for an hour and a half at
What did you do to that poor crock pot?
275 Fahrenheit. I like this again, keeps your stove and your range free. Set it and forget it type vibes. So we have to finish that chili a little later, but in the meantime, let's move on. Cowboy Kent Rollins is YouTube's favorite cowboy. Is that a fact? No. I haven't really gone down the cowboy rabbit hole yet, but as of now, as of the recording of this video, he's my favorite cowboy.
Well, if you live in an apartment in Chicago, you're not going to be able to go down to the cowboy rabbit hole. You're going to have to move out to fucking Montana.
Woody's pretty dope too. There's other cool cowboys out there. He's a great guy, I think. Now, Kent is all about cast iron, live fire cooking, and enjoying life out on the open range. The dude has killer style. He's always rocking a cowboy hat. He really does look the part. Great accent. Seems like a chill hang. Shout out Kent. This dude is the physical embodiment of a cold beer, an eagle caw, and freedom. Yeah, freedom. My type of guy. Now, Kent's hat game is certainly on point, but can the man make a solid bowl of chili? We'll see about that. Cowboy Kent's chili starts in a cast iron pot. Go figure. We're gonna go in with our ground beef, 2 pounds. Whoop. A little kosher salt. Let that brown off a tiny bit. Give that a flip. And we'll start mashing away. A little more salt. A lot of beef in there. All right, our beef is nice and dark. He doesn't really go ahead and brown it too much, and the liquid will actually help us with the next step. Now we're just gonna add in our onions. little pinch of salt, and sweat these down with the beef. Gonna stir this around. Interesting way of doing things, but in theory, the fat in the some of the moisture from the beef should help sweat these onions nicely. I like how simple this recipe is. You'll see in a second. Bare bones, outdoor cooking. We're gonna go in with our diced Rotel green chili and tomatoes. These are Rotel. This is the can. Just 1 can's worth of water. Classic stuff. A can of tomato sauce. This is tomatoes and other stuff and seasonings in it too. Some garlic, some spices, or Kent spices. Then we're gonna go in with some kidney beans, drain, and this stuff here. So Cowboy Kent has his own line of products, and one of those products is this Chipotle chili pepper sort of mash relish. I actually ordered some about a week ago, but as is life, sometimes things don't go your way, and it didn't come in time. But he said for years before he made his own relish, he used these good old Chipotle peppers in adobo, which I personally love. Smoky, spicy, flavorful. They're gonna darken the chili up. So we're gonna add that in. But when I finally do get his relish come in the mail, I'm gonna give that away on the Discord and the Patreon. So come on over there if you're not already. Just gonna add in the can of Chipotle's in adobo, and as this simmers, I'm gonna break these chili peppers up a bit. Very nice. They'll soften. So like I said, minimal steps for this recipe. You're just adding everything to a pot. This is what I like to call dad chili, right? It is the easiest way, and it's flavorful and delicious, or that remains to be seen. But in theory, all these ingredients, man, you know, I like it. Mash those chilies up a bit. Oh yeah. So this is gonna go on the hob on low for about 45 minutes. We're not done yet. We still gotta finish some of these chilies. All right, let's check on Brian's John. Hey, that looks like a proper chili. Excellent. So now we can just add the remaining ingredients before we finish this thing off. In with our pinto beans, perfectly cooked and tender. A little bit of the bean cooking liquid, help thicken things up. Some brown shugs, apple cider vinegar. Love that acidic punch, good idea. This thing needs it. A dash of McDerber sauce, and a few dashes of hot sauce, good old Tabasco again. Now we mix that around, not too harshly. We don't want to break those beans, so nice and gently.
Beans!
Now we're gonna pop this thing in the oven on 325 Fahrenheit with the lid off. It's gonna reduce a little bit, continue to cook. 45 more minutes. All right. Look at that. All of that fat on the top, but look at this. Woo-wee.
Dude,
Yacht.
it looks like you put it in
Dang.
a nuclear fucking
That's
reactor.
what chili should look like, people. It's wonderful. Wonderful, I say. Brian's chili dunzo. We just gotta do one last thing to Maddie's. Oh, interesting. All right, let's give this thing a stir. All that bone in
I'm sorry, the bone-in crap is where you lose me. This one sucks.
meat, those ribs and short ribs with the ground meat. I mean, the texture's looking definitely a little more liquidy than the other two, but not in like a bad way, almost kind of like a Cincinnati chili vibe. We just gotta finish this off with our kidney beans. Very nice. We're gonna stir those in. It's interesting that all of our chilies have beans in them today. You know, Texas style doesn't have beans. If you've seen that, my other chili video, we covered.
Technically, True Blue chili has no, it's just meat and sauce. And no, I don't know where the fuck chili originated from, so don't bother fucking asking.
For all the different styles of chilies and where they come from and sort of the history. So if you're a chili lover, I recommend that video. But yeah, boom, that's it. Maddie's chili. Done. Maddie's chili. We're gonna go in with some cheddar cheese, yellow cheddar, some cilantro, some green onion, scallion.
I get everything you said.
Very
with
interesting.
cilantro.
Some grated onion, white onion, and of course a dollop of sour cream.
Look, I love sour cream. I do not like sour cream in my chili.
Maddie's chili.
Yeah, Well, I take that back. Every so often in the summer, I get a hankering for chili, and then I've got to have it.
Brian's chili. We're going in with some tortilla chips. I like it. I like it. Some white
I don't put tortilla chips on my chili either because they get soggy almost immediately.
cheddar cheese, not yellow, white. Some green onion.
You know what makes cheddar cheese yellow? It's stuff they add to the white cheddar cheese. It's usually... Well, it started out as carrot juice. I don't know what the fuck it is today.
And a good old dollop sour cream. Brian's chili. Cowboy Kent's chili.
The only one I would actually consider eating is Cowboy Kent.
We're gonna hit it with some oyster crackers.
Peanut butter with chili is good. You must be a Midwestern boy.
A little yellow cheddar.
I remember the first time me and my brother made chili, and he dipped a peanut butter, he made like a peanut butter sandwich, cut that son of a bitch down the middle, straight, and started dipping, and I thought it was the grossest thing ever. And he was like, try it. I did. I loved it. I didn't know why. I figured it was because I sold my soul to the devil. All right, we're going to do Cooking with Jack. Okay, already, this is impossible. Calzone pizza slices. Jack, you're Italian. How do you not know this is impossible? Okay, we all know what pizza is. I don't have to go over that. For the 5 people living under a rock, a calzone is essentially a small pizza crust that you load one half with like sauce and cheese and whatever shit you want in your calzone. You fold that motherfucker over, crimp the edges, pop that son of a bitch in the same oven. But it doesn't get sliced up like pizza. Normally it's either eaten kind of like a taco or a burrito, or it's cut once down the middle.
Welcome to the kitchen. Get ready, let's go. It's Cooking with Jack. Put on a tasty show.
All right, guys, I heard ya. Food Jack shirts are coming. Be looking for that. In the meantime,
Who the fuck wants a Food Jack shirt? I might buy it to burn it.
we're getting into my favorite time of year. Like, I'm filming this in August. It's kind of hot still. But September's coming. Pre-games have already started. It's time to get it on with football finger food. So, let's do something easy.
Dude, Jack, why do you still wear your yellow cap like Wario did when he was 10 years old?
Quick, and I hope delicious. We'll find out. Okay, we got the Pillsbury pizza dough rolled out.
Jack, you couldn't even... Look, you can call up damn near any pizza place, ask if they sell dough, and they'll hook you up. Oh, fine, fuck it, whatever. Although that dough looks like it's been sitting out for a while.
We got some dipping sauce. I mixed together some butter, garlic, and Italian seasoning.
No, you didn't! You put a stick of butter in a bowl, and then you dumped seasoning on it! Oh, God, is this gonna be bad? Oh, this is gonna be bad.
We'll brush the top off with that. I got mini pepperonis, little tiny ones. I got string cheese. Let's get started. Okay, guys. So, you're gonna evenly space these out. You're probably, if you want more than 6 across, I would buy a different dough.
Okay, if I was to do this, I would literally just cut the dough to each individual mozzarella stick, seal it as best I could, and then just bake that. And then just, yeah, have my pizza sauce as a dipping sauce. So basically I'm making kind of a baked mozzarella stick? I don't know what the hell I'd call this. And also, Jack, really? You can't make your own pizza sauce? It is not that hard.
Like the kind of Publix that's already made, go with theirs. This is just the Pillsbury dough. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, with the other dough, you might get 7 or 8. So if you got like guests coming over, or you just make another tray. That's all. Okay? Then you can take your minis. You're literally just going to spread them out. That's it. Just like that. Make sure there's none sticking out there. Get them all tucked in.
Dude, I don't know what is up with this dough. I've used Pillsbury dough in the past. Hey, I like their biscuits. This dough looks like it's been sitting out for days. Or is it another time when Jack said, expiration dates? We don't need no stinking expiration dates. I mean, unless he par-cooked this, which is fine, but I wouldn't do that with a calzone.
Okay. Get over here. There we go. Grab your dough. Make sure it's bendable. You're gonna fold it over. Okay? You're literally gonna fold it.
God, the dough looks wrong. Everything about this looks wrong!
Over. And you're gonna pinch.
What, couldn't you get your cunt wife Tammy to help you with this? Come on, I thought you were Christians. I thought she's supposed to help and honor and take care of her fucking husband. Who only has the use of one arm because, you know, he didn't take care of himself, blah, blah, blah. Refuses to actually do any of the physical therapy to maybe get the use of his other arm back.
The edges. Seal off the edges, okay? And
I
then
mean, that dough looks like it's been sitting out for fucking days.
you can if you want.
Those edges are not sealed, my friend. I know what sealed edges look like, and that ain't it. That edge is open up wider than Sydney Sweeney's cunt.
Take your finger, do a little pressing if you want, like that, to kind of see the ripples of your pieces of bread. So when you cut it, you'll know where to cut. You can just press down. You can take a bench scraper, but my fear is that it would cut the dough, so I'm not using the bench scraper, but you can. You can just use pretty much anything. Your finger works pretty good, see? Sign up a little bit, grab your breath,
Okay, that's not sealed.
and
Well, thank
basically,
Lucky. This is the worst calzone I've ever seen.
just douse the whole thing. Okay, we're gonna pop this in the oven, 400 for approximately 12 minutes. Once again, you gotta keep an eye on this. It'll burn fast. You know, make sure it's the way you like it. If you like it a little less dark or baked, then go ahead, and I think we got enough there. Yeah, it should be nice. All right, guys, seasoning is absolutely perfect.
I cannot, for the life of me, actually believe that dough, that didn't end up in a leak. It still looks like shit, but I can't believe the cheese stayed inside.
But
Then again, on that note, if I was to make a calzone, the last cheese I'd use is string cheese, but, you know, that's me.
I wanted to get a little darker on top here. And
by the way, it still looks undercooked.
the edges were getting too brown, so I didn't want to start burning it. Then remember, this is the first time. The cheese doesn't look like it went the full distance. As you can see, that piece of cheese probably goes
I can go the distance.
right there. So improvements right away would probably be, I would like undercook it, then hit it under the broiler for a minute or two to get a golden brown on top, and then so you don't burn the edges. And then I would extend the cheese. I take some of those cheese sticks, and if you have to, put a cheese stick and a pinch to get cheese all the way through. Looks like the cheese didn't get through to this end. Looks like it kind of stopped there. All right, guys, let's take a look here. And a little crispy on the edges. All right, ready? There we go. Let's push that back a little.
Okay, so the cheese is basically still solid. The dough is underdone. There's way too much pepperoni. This is just a fucking disaster. Yes! Calzones are supposed to be a different shape and have a different look.
All right. Here we go. Dry piece. I would just say it's okay, but the garlic, butter, and seasoning made it great. Do not forget that step.
Yeah, Jack, I'm really sure that's what fucking saved this. Alright, I don't think I've ever done this user before. This is 101 Burger. I stopped buying cheeseburgers after this homemade recipe. Alright. Okay. Looks like we got the standard secret sauce. You know, that sauce is about as secret as fucking goddamn Courtney Love's cunt. Caramelized onions, pickles, cheddar, burger, tomatoes, and looks like green leaf lettuce. But before I get into this, I have to pee once again. Curse of the beer drinker. tablespoons of mayo. A couple tablespoons of ketchup. Okay, not to be a dick to this dude, but, well, one, just use relish here. But not to be a dick to him, you might want to talk. Although shit, 57,000 views. Wait, 57,000 views and you're only at 577 subscribers? What the fuck? Goddamn, hit the goddamn fucking subscribe button for this motherfucker. No, you know what? Fuck it. I'll subscribe.
Heaven on the way comes out.
Oh crap, no music!
Never having nothing to do.
Please God, be pseudo-created!
I don't know what to do.
Oh, maybe we should try this one time. Do a video like this, make some AI videos. I just got an idea that I actually might do this.
Is what I've been doing to you. And every time you look at me,
Oh, could you kill the running water? Jesus!
and every time you look at me, and
You know that sound makes everybody want to fucking pee!
every time it tells me you feel like mine, 'cause I know that you are, and that getting up, and I'm lying strong, yeah, yeah. And every time I am strong, yeah, but I'm knowing it strong, yeah, yeah, strong, yeah. It's what I've been doing to you. Oh, yeah. I don't wanna love you so much, you know. No, I don't wanna love you. It's hard to go. And I've been knowing, I know what I wanna do, and everything.
I haven't gotten the yellow triangle of doom yet. But I'm really hoping this is AI. Otherwise, this stream's gonna get fucking nuked.
Thing that I need for you, tell me. I know, and I know what you do. Oh, every time you look at me, and every time you look at me, and every time it tells me you feel like mine. 'Cause I know that you are there, and I'm getting up. And I'm lying strong. Hey, hey, hey. I know how to use.
I don't like adding... I don't even know what we're making at this point. I've never once ever added egg to my burger. I've added egg to meatloaf, but not burger. Are you gonna deep fry the fucking things? Oh, he's making onion rings. I can't tell. Is this dude white or not?
Every time you look at me, every time you look at me,
Well, that's a fried egg. I've never put egg like directly in the burger meat. But I was wrong. It doesn't matter. He's making onion rings that look pretty legit. This guy can actually, what it seems like, he can legit cook. Okay, now I'm assuming this is where the caramelized onions come in. Normally, I just, I don't know. I believe just make the patties, season them on top. Just me, though. It's your burger. Make it however the fuck you want. So, Jake, rather than responding to anything modern, is still deciding to deal with shit that I did fucking years ago. Good to know the fucking loser doesn't fall far from the tree. I don't know, maybe he doesn't speak English and English dominates YouTube. I mean, I don't fucking know. Maybe he's shy. I don't know, and quite frankly, I don't care. I don't know why you'd put a piece of parchment paper down when you're using a burger press. By the way, I don't like burger presses. Alright, okay, made the buns. Now we're grilling the patties. A little salt, a little bit of pepper. But it's more my political shit, so I'm not gonna bring it up here because again, Jake knows he's beat. Like I said, that's a guess, but also have to go to the pot shop tomorrow. Alright, good toast on the buns. Got that secret sauce. And got that sweet jazz piano in the background. That lady in the red dress will be sucking my dick by dawn. Dear Jake now. You're disgusting. How did I buy the last time? Oh, I bought gelato or grolato. Although I am curious about what state will be the last one to actually legalize recreational marijuana. Because what's funny is Iowa legalized gay marriage, but pot's still illegal. Oh, okay. I'm probably gonna pick up something this time, maybe a little more for focus, so I can smoke it while I'm streaming. Because the one I picked is more for sleep. My gummies are for sleep. Because after all these years, Uncle Dave is trying to start to wing down his drinking. And yeah, you're replacing one drug with another. Fuck you. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll try that strain. Yeah, I gotta go tomorrow. I was gonna go today, but I was like, fuck it. I still got gummies. Okay. Except, in Minnesota, it's still relatively new. Like, dispensaries are just opening up. So the price is kind of not super expensive, but enough to go, God damn, really? Anywho, I got a few more in me. That's irrelevant. Alright, we're going to do this one. Smoked crawfish queso. This is from American Smoke.
That is the best queso I've ever had in my life. Yeah,
Meanwhile,
cutting board back out.
meanwhile, this guy has 40,000 subscribers and has 4,000 views on his videos.
Queso I've ever had in my life.
I don't know if I'd ever use crawfish for a queso, but
Y'all gotta try this. What's up, carnivores? With football season right around the corner, it's time to start thinking about tailgate food. And one of my favorite tailgate foods is smoked queso. And today we're taking smoked queso up a couple notches. Today we're making smoked Cajun crawfish queso. We're gonna be doing everything from the crawfish to the spicy sausage to the Holy Trinity, baby. Y'all hang in there and stick around because today we're making that smoked Cajun crawfish queso. Let's get it. Okay, so for our first ingredient, we've got the good old Velveeta. We've also got 1 block Philadelphia cream cheese, 8 ounces of pepper jack. Next, we're gonna be prepping our Holy Trinity. You want about half a bell pepper. You want to chop these up fine. This is a small onion, so we're going to do the whole thing. And 1 stalk of celery. Okay, so the next step in our process is to get our meat going. While that's heating up, I want to talk to you about our crawfish. Today we're using Louisiana Select crawfish. You will see other brands in the grocery store. A lot of them are going to be exported from China. I have found that those crawfish tend to be much chewier and less of the delicate, delicious taste that you want when you get crawfish. So do what you want to do, but my opinion is get the Louisiana Select. When you use the...
Aren't like American crawfish the biggest on the block? And considering that, well, crawfish, crayfish, they're cannibals. They take everything else out.
You're going to want to drain off any excess water, but if there's not a lot of excess water, you don't want to rinse them. All of this yellow material that's in this packaging, you want to use. It is fat, it is flavor, it is going to be what gives this Rotel dip the pop that it deserves from this crawfish, so make sure that you don't waste any of that. Pan's getting nice and hot. We're going to go ahead and incorporate 1 pound of Jimmy Dean hot. Now, if you don't like real spicy, get regular or mild sausage. Today we're going with hot because I'm making Cajun Rotel. I want it to be spicy. You know what I'm saying? This might not be for everybody. Y'all do you. But Zach,
why are you being this careful cutting it? Just stick the fucking knife in and rip that son of a bitch.
So we're just gonna brown this up. All right, so while we got that going, we're gonna get on to our other protein that we're putting in today.
Yeah, and the fucking things are cannibals. In fact, that's why English crayfish have to be like insanely protected, because in the 70s, some dipshits in England were like, right, Mike, we're gonna import the American crayfish because they're bigger. Don't worry, they won't get out. Well, sure enough, a mummy and a puppy crayfish got out, started breeding in native British waters and riverways and such, and were decimating the English crayfish population because they were twice their size, and crayfish are cannibals.
Got some country pleasing
I actually had a pet crayfish when I was a child.
Cajun style sausage.
Died during its molting process.
We're gonna cube this up a little bit. If you take this to a tailgate or if you take this to a house game, you show up with this, ain't nobody gonna complain, I can tell you that much right now. All right, so we're just gonna cut this up into your standard slices. And you don't want a whole piece of this sausage when you go to get a dip on a chip. So what you wanna do is you wanna cut it up into smaller pieces. And you just take you a handful of the slices and cut straight down. Give them a twist, cut straight down. There, now we've got lots of little tiny pieces of sausage. That'll be more appropriate on a chip. We're gonna do that to all these. Now, if you're not into crawfish, you still want to do Cajun, I would use the whole thing of sausage. I would use the whole thing. But since we're doing the crawfish, the spicy ground sausage, and the Cajun sausage, I'm gonna only use half of the sausage from the Southern Pleasing. Make sure that when you're cooking this ground sausage that you're getting it cut up into nice little small pieces. We got it chopped up, cooked. Not seeing any sort of pink in that sausage anymore.
What did you do to that spatula? Shove it up your ass when you had fucking explosive diarrhea?
And the fat is rendered. Now,
Why can people keep none of their shit clean?
you can drain most of the fat out of this.
Or it's a plastic spatula. Just buy another one.
If you like, I'm going to sort of just move it out of the fat as best as I can, and whatever's left, I'm going to use that in my next part of my cook. Let's get this put into our pan with our cheese. All right. Well, we had a few extra onions on the cutting board. Why not? Get a little bit of that caramelized onion on there. Waste not, want not. That's what I've always been told. I can tell you this much, the smell of that sausage and onions together cooking down, I'm gonna be torturing some neighbors today. You wanna cook this sausage on medium-high heat for about 7 to 10 minutes. Now that we've got a good sear, a little crunch on this sausage, I'm gonna move it over with everything else. Try to preserve some of the oil in the pan. And that's why we left our oil in there from the sausage. We're gonna cook the Trinity in that. What we're wanting to do is we're wanting to sear this, soften it up, get rid of the crunch. That way when you're eating your rotel, you don't get a crunchy vegetable. You want it all smooth. We are gonna season this Holy Trinity up with just a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic. This is a new brand that I found. It's from, I don't know what it's Lyra's, Livens. It's got a really good look to it, and I thought I'd pick it up, try it out in this video. Just enough. Now we're getting our cutting board back out, and that's been going for about 4 minutes now. We're gonna crush up a little bit of garlic. Okay, so now that that's been going for about 8 minutes, give or take. Now's the time we're gonna toss in garlic. You don't want the garlic in there, but about a minute. Just long enough to become fragrant. Put it in there at the same time you put everything else in, it's gonna overcook. We're gonna give it about, like I said, about a minute. Okay, so we can turn off the heat. We're gonna incorporate this into our pan with everything else. Make sure to scrape the pan, get all that flavor out of there. You earned it. Okay, so we've
I think actually I have that exact hot plate.
only got a few ingredients left to add in. And you're wondering, like, why am I separating all this stuff? You don't have to. You can just pile it all in there. I'm just doing this for looks. We've got 2 cans of Rotel tomatoes. Now, since I've got so much solid stuff in this, I am not draining it. Now, you can drain if you like. And what we've got here is some evaporated milk, which is what I encourage you to have some on hand when you make this recipe. It's such a bulky, dense recipe that it's hard to know whether you're gonna have enough liquid or not. You don't want it to be too thick. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook it for a while, see how the consistency is looking, and if we need to add in a little bit of moisture, that's where that evaporated milk comes in. Now, what we've got here is we've got some Cajun seasoning. Use a Cajun seasoning of your choice. I'm using the Blues Hog Cajun Bayou. Add about a tablespoon.
That's my goal with the weed.
Now this is another one of them things you don't want to add everything that you think it should get right off the bat, because you're going to taste this later, and if you need more, add more.
Although in truth, if a doctor told me you can't drink anymore, my mental discipline would, I wouldn't drink again. Despite what the Jakenites think of me.
It's a Cajun smoked crawfish cheese dip, and so we're gonna add some hot sauce. We're just gonna add maybe a tablespoon of hot sauce.
I mean, just with diet changes and sheer will alone, I lost. I think I weighed myself today. I think it was 213, and at my heaviest, I was either 245 or 250. So I've lost either over 30 or over 35 pounds.
Y'all let me know in the comment section down below, what's your favorite type of hot sauce? This is some Trappy's Bull Louisiana official recipe hot sauce that I'm using today. I've got my smoker running today at 275 degrees. We're gonna get this in there for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna give it a check. Okay, so set your timer for 30 minutes. We'll be back. Okay, so that's 30 minutes. It should be good and soft and able to mix and incorporate now. So let's go ahead, get that out here and get it incorporated.
Looks like shit.
Okay, so everything looks really melty. I don't think we're gonna have any problem stirring this stuff up. Let's check it out. Oh, everything looks good. Let's get it all stirred up. So at this point, if you don't want to put any crawfish in there, you ain't got to. We're gonna throw this back into the smoker for another 30 minutes without the crawfish. It's just gonna help to marry the flavors a bit more and get a little bit more smoke on that queso. Let's get it back in the smoke. We'll see you in 30 minutes. Okay, so we've reached the portion of the show where we get to do our first taste test, texture test, and incorporate our final ingredients. Be careful to put your hand underneath your pan if you're using one of these aluminum pans. Okay, so the first part of this test is just get a chip, and we want to see how thick it is and how spicy it is, the flavor. This is our last opportunity to add something in if we need it. We went a little light on everything early in the cook, just so that we could bump it up if need be. Everything should be married really well and incorporated really well. Don't they look good? The thickness is really nice. It might be just a little bit thick, but not bad. It's not running real fast, but it is running a little bit. It don't need much. We are gonna pop it with just a little bit more of our Cajun seasoning, maybe another half a teaspoon or so. Just another smidgen of hot sauce. Just because, you know, America. Did I say anything else? Maybe I said it wrong. America! And we're gonna go in with just a little bit, like maybe 2 teaspoons of our evaporated milk. That's just gonna thin it out just a little bit. Make sure not to get sweetened condensed milk because that's sitting right beside it and I almost grabbed it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's time to open up our crawfish. Now, like I said, these are already cooked. So all we're doing is trying to gently heat them back up. So this is only going back into the pit for about another 15 or 20 minutes. Doesn't seem to be much water. If you buy some of the ones from China, you might get more water. With these Louisiana Select, you're gonna get a lot more crawfish.
Again, I didn't know China had crawfish.
Oh. Get every little delicious bit out of there. We're also incorporating all of the smoke that imparted itself onto that top layer of the cheese, and so we're getting a more smoky flavor. Spend a little time doing this. You want every bite to have the same consistency. If you put your crawfish in early, they're gonna get tough and they're gonna lose that tender, delicate texture that you're looking for with.
Yes, imagine loving the country that makes your fucking life possible, Phoenix.
Crawfish. It's a lot like crab meat. You don't want to overcook it. Now, once you feel that you've got everything evenly incorporated, it's time for one more taste test.
And imagine the country that gives the generous welfare state that allows you to not work even though you're fully capable of it.
I'd do 10 more if I could. But that's just called sitting around eating cheese dip. That's not making a video. Well, make sure you get a good meaty bite with plenty of that sausage on it. See if we need to add any more seasoning. Y'all, we're doing something special here today. Let's go for another 15 minutes in the smoke. I think we're gonna be good to go. Set your timer, we'll see y'all in 15 minutes. All right, so that's 15 minutes. It's time to pull this stuff out of the smoker. That looks so good. We're gonna freshen that crawfish up just a little bit with some lemon juice.
Phoenix, you survive off of the way too generous social programs of the United States. Or did you get that job we were talking about?
Over the top of the cheese dip. Just a couple teaspoons, not a lot. You don't want to overpower anything. Maybe a quarter of a lemon worth of lemon juice. And then we're just gonna fold that in, along with all the smoke that deposited on this top layer. Folding it in, incorporating it all in, making it just a little bit more smoky. The fresh lemon smell, the taste of it's gonna just make the crawfish pop. And then we're just gonna garnish it with a little bit of green onion. Just like that. Get that pop in there, that green pop that just makes everything better. I even saved a few crawfish to sort of intensify the look of it a little bit. I recommend you do this. That looks good. Oh my gosh, that looks good. Oh.
Considering we're giving you money for doing nothing, your level should be subsistence only. You want to live more comfortably? Get a fucking job. And you're not disabled. I've talked to you too many times. You're intelligent enough to have a job. Like, really? You can't work at a call center?
Man, what are you talking about? Bon appetit.
Alright, what the hell? We'll do a couple more. We'll do this one real quick. Dude, your fly's down.
And show y'all how to make that cafeteria pizza at home. It wasn't all that back then, but 90s babies, lock in, because I got the recipe. Welcome back.
Well, I wasn't a 90s baby, but I did go to elementary school in the 90s. And boy, do I gotta pee again. Alright, be right back.
back to the basics. Cafeteria
Yeah, you know what's funny? The Minnesota laws are insane. When it comes to, I actually studied them. This is the law in Minnesota. This is how insane it is. You can have 2 ounces on you in public. But in your home, you can have up to 2 pounds. And you can have, oh God, what is it? I think it's like 8 plants, but only 4 can actually be producing. And I have heard raising pot plants is a bitch and a half. I'm not going to do it. And I don't even know how they dry it out to turn it into something useful, so I'm not even going to bother.
classics. First things first, the pizza dough. Now you can make it from scratch, but this is easier. It's already squared and it comes with the parchment paper. I ain't trying to hear it. I know my cookie sheet raggedy, but it's loyal. Just roll it out over your cookie sheet, leave the parchment paper on. That's gonna keep it from sticking. Cut off the excess parchment paper, and we're gonna pre-bake this according to the package instruction. 425, 5 minutes. Now while that's in the oven, we're gonna brown our ground beef. You can use Italian sausage, pepperoni, even ground turkey, whichever protein you like. To a hot pan, add a little olive oil and your preferred protein. I don't know exactly how much this is, but I wanted to make more than I thought I needed because I just feel like you never have enough toppings on a pizza. Now if you don't got you one of these, get you one. It's a game changer. Now,
No, it's not. Get a spatula. And I'm being a little nicer to him because he has my beloved twins on his cap.
we're gonna let this cook down till it get nice and brown. Also, make sure you're soaking up all this excess moisture. It's gonna help the meat crisp up a little better. Now, once everything start getting nice and brown, start adding in your seasoning. But I'm adding in a little garlic pepper, all purpose, some salt, and a little bit of onion powder. Give everything a good mix. Once you get just right, we're gonna set this aside. Crust should be ready by now. Voila. Don't worry if it don't look done. It's gonna finish in the oven when we put the toppings on. Now top it with your favorite pizza sauce. I'm using
Okay, so we kind of par-baked it. Dude, pizza sauce is not that hard. Why do so many of these people buy pizza sauce? It's super fucking easy.
HEB's roasted garlic pizza sauce. Add as little or as much as you like. It's all about preference, but you don't want it to be too soggy at the end. Now, sprinkle on a little of that ground beef, and if you like a little kick, some red pepper flakes. Cover it with some whole milk mozzarella, and last but not least, top it off with a little more of that ground beef. Should look a little something like this. Then we're gonna toss this in the oven at the same temp for about 10-15 more minutes. After about 15 minutes, you should get a little something like this. Now all you gotta do is slice it into squares.
My friend, do you not have a pizza cutter? You can pick one up for like $8 at Walmart.
I'm about to take it way back and show y'all
Not
how to
bad.
make that cafeteria pizza.
Okay. I don't want to do that. I think we'll do a bit from Sandwich Whore. Spam tastes amazing on a breakfast sandwich. I'm sure it does, but I'd rather have spam off your tits.
You want me to make you a sandwich?
Damn. Slut got some knife skills. Although I will say she's probably 75% crazy with the tattoos. Not 100%. She doesn't have the septum ring. Although I will say this Lindsay Clancy thing is probably going to be the end of feminism.
Perfect. Here you go. Hey, you hungry? You want me to make you a sandwich? Hey, you hungry? You want me to make you a sandwich?
Not with this Lindsay Clancy situation. You literally have men divorcing their wives and men calling off weddings because they're standing with Lindsay Clancy, the murderous cunt who killed her own children. Oh, and by the way, she wasn't under stress or given or had the world on her. She had a fucking nanny to help take care of the kids. Boy, I really got to start live streaming more on Dave's opinions. Not tonight, though. That's why I need the pod that gives me focus.
Perfect. Here you go.
Oh my God, Phoenix, the devil is ice skating to work. We actually agree on something. Me, I wouldn't. She jumped out of the window trying to kill herself, and failed. Now she's in a wheelchair. Me, I'd have pushed the cunt right into a goddamn wood chipper. Well, I guess this might be the last one for the night. Insane Burgers from Family Guy.
Peter Griffin ate a burger with car keys in it.
Give me the car keys.
So I made one. Peter ate 30 of these in one sitting and had a stroke. Today, I'm gonna try to match him. And this has to be the dumbest food idea ever.
Another milkshake, please.
I recreated 10 of the wildest things from Family Guy.
That is some tasty stuff.
The McDLT, which died back in 1990.
What do you want, Michael?
I make DLT.
A burger with jelly donuts for buns to heat up on a pizza.
The jelly donut burger thing was not Family Guy. I think Paula Deen was the first one to. I think Paula Deen was the first one to popularize that motherfucker.
Pizza box. And stick around till the end for the biggest and darkest secret in Quahog. Let's go. We're starting with the jelly donut burger and the shake. Lois banned junk food, so Peter did what anyone would do. Opened a food truck with a menu that screams diabetes.
What are you even selling?
First of all, believe it, baby. Second, mostly hamburgers where the buns is jelly donuts.
First up, a burger on jelly donuts. I made something like this in an older video, and the comments dragged me for it. Bro, you don't get it. It's actually good. So fine, donut burger, round 2. Split a glazed donut, heavy layer of blackberry jam on the bottom, thick juicy patty, 2 slices.
Right now I got a problem. Because between 2 jelly donuts means between 2 jelly donuts. Not a donut cut in fucking half.
Of cheddar, a couple strips of bacon, more jam right on the bacon, and the top half goes on. Looks wild, right? You have no idea what this...
That is not... No, it's between two donuts, not two donut halves. Look, I know you don't want to die, but for this, you have to.
masterpiece actually tastes like.
That is some tasty stuff.
Oh, man.
Oh, Christ. They prescribe... I'm not gonna
How do you
get
eat
into it.
this? It's so sweet the meat and the bacon just vanish under the jam and the glaze. It's like eating pure sugar. 4.5 out of 10. Peter, you're nuts.
Except, again, this is not what the recipe was. You'd probably hate it. Whatever. Fine. Fuck it.
But the menu had one more masterpiece. A vanilla milkshake where instead of a straw, Peter uses a sausage.
And drinks where hot dogs is the straws.
No, that's not a sausage. That's a hot dog. Fuck you.
Vanilla ice cream and milk, 3-to-1, blended thick and smooth, and I ran a wooden skewer straight through the sausage.
Another milkshake, please.
Look, I'm happy for the business, but drinking that on your knees it's putting a hat on a hat.
So I made a good shake, stabbed the sausage through, and yeah, nothing happened. You just can't drink through a sausage. Dumbest idea ever. But the shake was great. All right, enough garbage. Let's get to actual burgers. Fuddruckers! Fuddruckers is a real American chain. Simple concept. They hand you a patty and a bun, and then there's this giant toppings bar in front of you. And you build whatever pops into your head. Let's see how the Griffin family handled that.
What kind you make there for yourself, Chris?
Plain.
Plain? What do you mean plain?
Chris's burger. We're gonna start with that one. He goes with just a plain burger. And Peter immediately loses it. That's not a burger. That's a meat sandwich.
It's not a burger, that's just a meat sandwich.
I didn't even bother to toast the bun. Bottom bun, beef patty, top bun. If you want to spend $15 on dry beef and bread, go for it. The meat's fine, just boring. 4 out of 10.
Hey, Chris, what do you got there?
A plain burger.
Looks good.
Meg's is up next, and at least she tried.
At least Meg went wild and got a beige burger.
No, I got chicken.
Shut up, Meg. Who gets chicken at a burger place? Meg, of course. I went through the scene frame by frame, and the recipe here is surprisingly, well, just watch. I hit milk with some lime juice, dropped in a boneless chicken thigh, and I let it sit in the fridge for a couple of hours.
Oh my God, there is no black experience. There's just life. Your life is not unique, Phoenix.
Double dredge, seasoned flour, back in the milk, flour again, and then into the fry.
I suppose maybe the only goddamn difference is you belong to a victim cult.
Now the stack. Mayo on the bottom bun, that crispy chicken, chipotle sauce right on top of it, then slice of cheddar, a lettuce leaf, and a ring of a fried onion. More mayo on the top bun, and you close it up. Oh.
Ah, sweet!
And here's the twist. It's juicy, it crunches, and it's really good. I think Peter was yelling at Meg out of habit because this chicken earns an 8.5.
What? Here? This is Fuddruckers. What part of Fuddruckers don't you understand?
All of it.
But Peter didn't come here for the chicken. He came for this.
Half of it is supposed to fall onto your plate when you squeeze it, and the rest goes onto your shirt.
Nobody ever says what's in it, so I played detective. Paused every frame and rebuilt the thing piece by piece. Bottom bun gets lettuce and spicy chipotle sauce, then 2 slices of roast beef. A juicy patty, melted cheddar, chunks of avocado, pouring on the guacamole, more of it. Okay, crispy bacon, a fried egg, and a slice of mozzarella on top. This is a monster.
First off, that's white American cheese. That's not mozzarella. Second off, why the fuck can't you cook bacon properly? Whatever. It's a fucking disaster.
Give me the car keys.
Peter.
Give me the car keys.
Yeah, I'm not putting car keys or a salt shaker in here. My dentist would kill me. But damn, I want to wreck this thing. Holy hell, this is unreal. The roast beef with the patty, the avocado, the chipotle, and that runny yolk with the hot cheese? Ooh, it just works. Super tender, right amount of heat, really juicy. Wish I could hand you one through the screen. 9.1. Peter Griffin made an absolute masterpiece. But this burger actually exists. The next one you can't buy for any amount of money. Its packaging killed it.
Yes, welcome to McDonald's. Can I help you?
What do you want, Michael?
A McDLT?
No, I already told you they don't make those anymore.
You know, sometimes it's a regional thing. You could ask.
No McDonald's anywhere makes a McDLT anymore.
Dorn's right. Every McDonald's still has the stuff to make it. The burger itself has been gone since 1990. McDLT, that...
Yeah, because of a bunch of environmental faggots decided, oh my god, we're destroying the fucking planet.
It's McDonald's, lettuce, and tomato. The whole gimmick? Hot side hot, cold side cold. You'd put it together yourself, right there at the table. One half gets the bun and the patty. The other side, top bun side, gets ketchup, mustard, white onion, 3 pickles, lettuce, mayo, cheese, and 2 slices of tomato. And you closed it yourself, which honestly feels way better than it should. But it came in this big styrofoam box, and when they banned that in the 90s, the burger just disappeared.
Why? I mean, are we really gonna sit here and go, the planet is so fragile it can't handle a little fucking styrofoam? It's handled asteroids the size of Texas hitting it!
I'm just saying they have all the ingredients for a McDeal.
Okay, that's actually smart. The patty's hot, lettuce and pickles are cold and crunchy. 8.2, solid burger. Okay, enough burger history. Next up, the one that got a grown man a life coach.
Here's your triple bacon burger and your onion rings.
Ah, crap. There's only 9 pieces of bacon. I paid for 12.
The triple bacon. The only burger in history that sent a grown man to a motivational coach.
But I'm a nobody.
You're not a nobody. Your meal is just as important as anyone else.
You're right.
Peter was too embarrassed to say they skimmed on his bacon. We're not holding back. 12 strips in the pan, and all that fat drips into a bowl. We'll need that in a minute.
Alright. I love bacon. But if you put, even on a 3-pound patty, which is about the limit for fast food burgers, 12 strips of bacon, all I'm gonna taste is the fucking bacon.
Stack it up, bottom bun, lettuce, patty, cheese. And now the bacon parade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh my god, it's not biodegradable. It's not kind to Mother Earth. Fuck it. That fucking cunt has been waging a war against us since forever. And now that she's losing the fight for survival, she wants a helping hand? Fuck her.
10, 11, 12.
It ain't exactly like nature's been kind to us, Phoenix. It's been trying to kill us the second we draw our first breath.
Here's more bacon.
That's not more bacon. This is more bacon.
Now, here's the wild part. All that hot bacon fat goes straight into the mayo. Ketchup, lime juice, pepper, and we drench the whole thing. Grease on grease, bacon and bacon sauce. Is this too much? Let's find out.
I don't know. Ask the YouTube algorithm, sweetheart. Wouldn't you say a son that says he doesn't give a shit about his mother is cruel? Or a mother who doesn't give a shit about her son is cruel? You're right. Nature doesn't care about us. That's why it's cruel. That's why we should stop giving a shit about the planet. And by the way, dinosaurs had this planet for hundreds of millions of years, and then boom, an asteroid wiped those motherfuckers out.
Damn! Now I get why Peter lost it over that bacon. This is awesome! Maybe a little unhealthy. Or is it? It is. 9.1, top tier. Phew!
I'm not a nobody.
That's the spirit, Peter. Now yell at that nobody in the window.
You there! I demand more bacon.
After that much grease, my body's begging for a salad. And Family Guy happens to have a recipe for one.
Okay, 4 pizzas and a salad. Salad? How do you make a salad?
The Pizza Place salad. The one they bring you for free at every pizza place. We're doing this exactly by the book.
First, you throw in the whole head of lettuce. Even the hard-to-eat white part at the bottom? That's what the people want. Now what else?
Man, how am I even gonna eat this? Whatever, that's future me's problem.
I got a can of whole black olives. Should I slice them up? What are you, crazy?
Okay, so I've got green olives instead of black. Hopefully that doesn't ruin the fine dining experience.
What about this tomato? Cut it into thirds. How about this carrot? Should I cut it up? Yes, but very thin lengthwise. The whole length of the carrot. One thin slice.
Right. Chef.
Okay, what else do we got? Well, we got these hot peppers, but you can't really eat them. No problem. Dump them all in.
Is this even edible?
Except he wasn't using jalapenos. He was using whole banana peppers. So that's... You're just being inaccurate here.
Oh man, my mouth is on fire. I ate the whole thing with the seeds. Seriously, don't ever make the salad. 0 out of 10. All right, I think you get the picture on the salad. Hit like and drop a comment, because next, I'm about to eat the burger that gave Peter a stroke.
Peter, you should really slow down. You've already had like 30 hamburgers.
Shut up, Brian.
McBurger Town. Peter ate 30 burgers in one sitting and had a stroke. I'm not going for 30, but I gotta find out how far I can push it. In this one, Peter talks to a cow and has 0 clue what's inside the burger. So I'm making their flagship the fanciest one they've got. For this beast, I made a single massive patty, a legit half-pound of pure beef.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those are looking good.
Oh, God. He made a half-pound burger. No, if McBurger Town was a real restaurant, the burger that Peter would be eating would be a quarter-pound patty.
Good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Stack goes, bun, mustard, ketchup, pickles, onion, monster patty, cheddar, top bun, classic, but on steroids. Check out that cross-section. Insanely juicy, greasy, total fast food classic. Solid burger. But hey, I'm supposed to eat 30 of these. Pray for me. Number 1 went down perfectly, didn't even notice it. Number 2, all right, now it's getting real. And keep in mind, I'd already crushed a ton of burgers before this one got stolen. The fish sandwich.
Stewie, Shawanda said she saw you sneaking food.
What?
She said she saw you in the back of the kitchen sneaking a fish sandwich.
So Stewie lands a gig at a fast food joint, crushes a pile of fish sandwiches, then pukes right there on the spot.
You're fired.
To be fair, they were 5 minutes past whole time and getting tossed out anyway. Makes sense? Makes.
Look, I will say this. If the things are past the throw-out time, and the employee has done nothing to like set them aside to make sure they go past the throwout time. Like if it happens naturally and the employees want to eat them, fine, fuck it, let them eat it.
Sense.
Yes, okay, but the thing was 5 minutes past the throwout time.
All right, fish time. Chopped the fillet by hand, shaped it into a square, and tossed it in the freezer so it doesn't fall apart. Dip in egg yolk, coat in seasoned flour into the fryer. And you don't toast the bun for a fish sandwich. You can steam it or just leave it as it is. Sauce is easy. Mayo, chopped pickles, a squeeze of lime, and some smoked paprika. Boom, tartar sauce.
A warm packet of tartar sauce brought in from somewhere else. We have a winner!
A little sauce on the bottom bun, a slice of cheddar, the hot crispy fish, and then we pour the sauce on for real. If Stewie ate 10 of these, how many could Peter do? I'm not gonna test it, but this is a solid fillet of fish. That lime paprika sauce and hot fish with cheddar just works. 8.4, absolutely deserved. Now, next up, the chain Family Guy has been dragging for 20 years without ever saying its name.
That's why we brought you to this fast food roast beef restaurant.
I'm sorry, are you here to poop something out?
Yes.
Okay, this line is just for regular diners. You need to get in that line.
Arby's. Let's find out why they hate this roast beef so much.
You know what restaurant we're talking about.
Starting with the bun, butter on both sides and into the pan until it's golden. The thinly sliced roast beef goes in a pan too for a couple minutes. Splash of water, lid on. That's what makes the meat as soft and juicy as possible.
Well, actually, no. It goes to the curing process, which Arby's guards tighter than a fucking paranoid emperor with his concubines.
Ketchup on the bottom bun, then we pile on the whole mountain of steamed roast beef, and we absolutely flood it with cheese sauce. I made myself out of milk and cheese.
Hey, what's going on in that room? It's a focus group of Arby's executives watching us eat.
Family Guy keeps roasting this place, but honestly, this is stupid good. The bun's got
Look, here's my honest, this is where I'm going to end this. Here's my honest opinion of Arby's. They're okay. Not my favorite place to eat. Not the worst. But they're okay. Anyway, that's it for this stream. Good night, everybody.